On Dawg Talk, me and Chris are sitting down with probably one of the greatest to ever step foot on the hilltop. Think about it, real fast. Matter of fact, let me give you a hint. He was the Big East Rookie of the Year, first team All Big East. He was also the Big East Player of the Year, Big East Tournament MVP, NBA first round pick, fifth overall, NBA All Rookie Team, and he's a 13-year pro. I'll give you some time. You got it yet? No? Oh, I'll tell you. The one and only Jeff Green. From Dawg Talk, this is Austin Freeman and Chris Wright. We got a very special guest, the one and only Jeff Green.
Superstar.
You know?
Nah, just a regular guy. Living life. My guys, good to see y'all, man.
Man, we appreciate you, man. We're just gonna start right like this. What made you choose Georgetown?
What made me choose Georgetown? I'm gonna give you an honest answer. Because I wanted, so this is the whole storyline of what happened. When I was with DC Assault, I played two tournaments with DC Assault. One was actually here in Houston, and the other one was in North Carolina. So my first choice was Syracuse. I was going to Syracuse.
Okay.
Because Troy Weaver, who's a good friend of mine, was at Syracuse. Carmelo was my favorite player. Because, I mean, he was like, guy who made it out, Baltimore. I watched him at Syracuse, wanted to be like Melo. So, I wanted to go to Syracuse. But I knew Troy when I was in high school because he's from the area.
Right.
Troy left to go to the NBA. He went to Utah. So, therefore, I was like, I don't want to go there because I don't know anybody there now. So, had those tournaments. Georgetown sent me a scholarship, an offer. That was with Craig Escher.
Yeah.
So
what year is this in high school?
This was my senior year, so this is 03. So going to senior year, so 03.
Okay.
But then my second choice of school was Maryland because of Lynn Bias, who grew up around the corner from where I was born, Chris Wilcox, Juan Dixon. They was on TV. They had a mob. So, so Gary didn't recruit me.
Huh.
The assistant coach came to Northwestern where I went to high school.
Okay.
And said Gary gave up the last scholarship. It was to James Gist.
Okay.
But Gary wants you to go prep to what's the military joint? Is it Hargrave? Hargrave. And I was like, look, I ain't trying to go prep. I ain't trying to get up early. I don't really want to do this school. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that. Right. So I got mad because he gave a scholarship to James. So I was like, I'm going to Georgetown because they offered me. And my goal was to make them the best area school in the DMV. And that was my mission, my 3 years when I was there. And that's why I picked Georgetown.
So, but you got recruited by Esherick.
Yeah, I got recruited by Esherick. Jaron Jackson was coming up to the school a lot, Northwestern a lot. And I was like, man, like, look, I ain't ready. Then I committed. And then once I committed, not too long after that, that's when he got fired.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you knew Big Dawg was going there, or did you? Did he decide to go there?
No. Well, I mean, Roy committed to Georgetown, and he was like a sophomore. Like he was already like, that's big franchise. So he was already a Georgetown student,
right?
Like, before he became a real student. Right. But I didn't know Roy until after my senior year. They had like an all-star game or something at High Point.
I was on the team. Do you remember?
Yeah. Man, I don't remember. Man, that was years ago. I don't remember none of that. I just remember playing in that gym, and it was so small. But Roy and what's the other dude was on his team?
The other kid, he went to Vanderbilt.
Went to Vanderbilt. I was like, damn, these dudes big, like footers. Like, where do they come from? They're around the corner from the school, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, and I ain't never seen nobody that tall, and I was amazed by that. But that's all I remember. but that was the first time I met Roy. I didn't even know Roy when I committed there.
Hey, that's funny, man. So that's wild because my freshman year was your senior year.
Yeah.
And we were playing in the Rock. You know, the gym is 150.
Yeah.
You know how that is free. That joint be 150 degrees in the middle of the summer.
It'd be packed.
Yeah, packed. And the fans make it hotter in that joint.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. And I made the all-star team as a freshman in the joint because I couldn't go to AU because I was in summer school. So I couldn't go to AU. So I was there playing there. And I remember that was the first time I was on your team. It was you and Roy. And I remember just looking up like, wow.
Yeah, so you was doing the same. I was doing that to Roy.
Yeah. That was the first time I met you. And ironically, you saying that's the first time you met Roy. That's crazy.
Yeah. And that's
crazy.
like, yeah, that's the first time I met Roy. And he was already there. And that's when Craig, it was just like, that's when everything started to fall in place. And then it just stopped. Like, Craig is gone. It was like, so what now? Like, what do we do now? But I wasn't going anywhere.
Cuse. What happened with Cuse? Why not Cuse?
Well, first, because most everybody who grew up where we grew up, like, you don't really leave the area.
Yeah.
Like, I never left D.C., Maryland until D.C. Assault took me to Houston on that first AU trip. That was my first time.
Wow.
So me going to Syracuse not knowing anybody, that's like going, for me back then, that's like going to Spain and being like, I'm about to live here. Right. Like, what am I gonna do up there? Like, it's snow out, it's cold as hell. Nah, I ain't going up there. Troy gone. Right. I'm gonna stay right here. I know the area. My family right down the street. So I was like, I'm not gonna change. Like, I'm not gonna change and go there. I'm gonna stay right here.
I can dig it.
Yeah, man.
What's up, Free?
All right, so you get to Georgetown now. Just tell everybody your experience at Georgetown.
My experience at Georgetown. It was first of all, it was a shock. I'm gonna tell you why. I never knew where Georgetown was. I'm gonna be honest. I never knew where Georgetown was until I went on my visit. My pops brought me there, and I never knew it was because it's the rich.
Yeah.
Growing up is the wealthy area to So I never went over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I went up there, and I get there, and mind you, like I look totally different. I had the long braids,
long jumps,
long braids, the baggy clothes. So I'm already sticking out.
You had the Kawhi Leonards before Kawhi.
I had the Kawhi Leonards before the Kawhi Leonards. I was following Melo. I had the braids.
Right.
So I already stick out like a sore thumb.
Right.
I'm dressed like with 4X, 5X tees, everything baggy, sweats dragging on the floor, baggy.
Yeah, that was a swag though. That was a style.
That was a swag. What was that group franchise? I had the white tee. That was what it was about. The fit is a large, covering the eyes. That's what it was about. Right? So I came there. That was all I knew until I got there, and I'm like, they really popping their collar. Why they got polo popping their collar? They were rain boots. Like, who cares? It's water. Like, who cares? But it was a shell shock probably like the first couple months. Like, even though I'm home, it's like, what is this? Like, it's a different way of life. Like, they just move differently. And then after my first year, like, I was like changing. I cut the hair, started to like really grow into the environment, adapt to how like the new life that I was trying to accomplish. And not 3 years there, it was amazing 3 years. Like, we had a great time, like winning. Like, that was the best thing. We was winning basketball games, and we had fun. Like, our class, Tyler, myself, John, Pat, and Roy.
Right.
We came in and we just changed the whole dynamic of what Georgetown was before Coach Thompson got there, JT3. And, that years with Craig and them, like, we just changed it. And that was the fun part. And we actually enjoyed every step that it took to get there. And if it wasn't for John, Tyler, Roy, and Pat, like it wouldn't have been as fun as I had. Like it would not have been.
Yeah, y'all made me commit to Georgetown my junior year. Just
And
off
that was
right off the
that's what it was about. Like, cause I mean, for us, like once you get there, you start to learn like the history of like the guys, how many guys like from the area that did not go there.
Right.
Like it was only a couple. You know, it's probably like before you two, myself, it was probably like 3 or 4, like not even 5 guys.
Right.
Like the Craig area, not JT3. I mean,
right.
Big John. I'm talking about Craig. Like you look at the team that Craig had before I got there. Only guy was Mike Sweeney and Kevin Braswell. I believe.
Yeah.
And the rest was like West Coast, like LA. I mean, you had like 4 LA guys when I got there.
Right.
And Brandon, Ashanti, Ray.
That's why I say Georgetown is at our best when we recruit home, we recruit the East Coast. This is us. When we recruit East Coast, we recruit DMV, we recruit New York, Jersey. We always get some from down New Orleans, Louisiana area.
Yeah.
That's our pipeline, right? That's how we get our recruits. So when we go west, it's hard to replicate that over a long period of time, I think,
Yeah, because they don't, like, it's different when you're West Coast and you come to Georgetown, because when you're home, you understand the pride of what Georgetown is. Like, you're home. Like, in your mind, you're like, I got to represent where I come from.
Right.
I got to show what we about. And that was the thinking of me. Is like, man, look, I'm from here. I can't, because I can go right down the street and people know, like, man, you go to Georgia, man, you from over there, Hinesville, New Brentwood, like that's where you from? Yeah, man, you got to represent. Right. So I can't go in that court with people that's coming to that game that's from where I'm from and saying, man, what you doing, dog? Like, that ain't us.
Oh, when they see, come on, Slam, what's going down, man? What's going on with you? Come on, you represent.
Man, you out there lunching, dog. Like, come on, man, you know better than that. You know how we get down.
Come on, no, we ain't. What? You know how people be hyping stuff back home. It's funny.
Yeah, and it's different. Like you when you from there, you understand it.
Yeah.
But when you're recruiting outside of that, it's a different mindset. So I don't think the pride of knowing like what it's about, like being from there and representing somewhere where you're from, is different. It's different.
Also, I think that plays a major role in that is the fact that our parents were heavily influenced by Georgetown, tremendously influenced by the culture.
That Big John there.
Yeah, and what that represented for our culture. So, I mean, when you talk to my father, your father, I'm sure has the same. They all represent, and they speak of Georgetown. When they heard you getting recruited by Georgetown, or I'm getting recruited, Jeff, they like, oh yeah, you gotta come on, you gotta entertain that,
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. So I'm gonna tell you this story. So I knew who Big John was only because of like AI,
right?
Junkyard, like knowing the Georgetown history. So my first altercation with Big John was like shocking. Like, who is this like guy? So my dad is like huge basketball. Y'all know he went to y'all games when y'all was in high school.
Big Jeff, man.
Like gym rat. So we walk into McDonough and I see him across the floor. So he's getting his orthotics done with art. So I'm like, man, like I'm about to meet like this historic guy. Like, oh man. So we walk in, my dad's just quiet. And I'm like, he ain't normally quiet. So we get over there, and I think it was Jaron and somebody introduced us to Miss Michaels first. So I'm saying hello to Miss Michaels. And then my dad says hello to Big John. And my Big John just turns around and he says, man, these white people think they know every mother. And I'm like, in art, Miss Michaels, like, they're Caucasian. So I'm like, he just gonna say this in front of the people, like they don't care, like they just walk. I'm like, what? Like, and I gotta deal with this? He around here all the time? Like, what am I supposed to say to that? So I just looked at him and just like shocked, like,
right.
Jeff Green. And I was like, wow, like the mouth on this guy. Then you learn the history about what he did for that school and how he set standards.
Right.
Like, yeah, this dude's the real deal. So like you said, like your pops, my pops, everybody from the area, like they know that history because of him. They knew what he did to get Georgetown on the map, and also what he did in that city.
Yeah.
So it's big, man. It's big.
It's definitely deep rooted, man. It's a lot of history behind it.
Facts.
Facts. Yeah. So now, you're at Georgetown now. You were JT3. Just, go a little bit more into that, playing for JT3. Go from freshman year all the way to your junior year.
Yeah. So
we used to call
JT3,
him.
obviously we know he's the calm John Thompson.
Yeah.
But he snaps from time to time.
Yeah.
And it was the best maturing years of my life. And I always tell people this to this day. He was he made me a better person and a better player. Because when I came to Georgetown, I think I was athletic. That was it.
Yeah.
I just dunk. That's run the floor and dunk, Jeff. That's it.
What you be doing now, Jeff?
Yeah, you doing that?
No, I can shoot a little better now. I can shoot a little better now. That's it.
Yeah. I remember the first time we ever played you too at DeMatha, my freshman year. We played Northwestern. We won.
Y'all beat out. Yeah, y'all spanked.
Like I remember there was one play. You was on the wing. Somebody shot it, and I looked, and I just saw you taking like 2 big steps to the point where I was just like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna block this guy out. So I stepped away, but you missed it in the air. Like that was the first time playing varsity basketball. So when it happened, I was like,
that game was packed too. That game was packed.
You just out there.
I remember that game.
But
JT, he was a guy who he was a perfectionist. Y'all know, when it came to that Princeton, perfectionist. Yeah. So that I took that and it rolled over to the daily life. But he was a guy who pushed me to become a better player through the 3 years, each year progressing to get me where I'm at. Without him, if he wasn't the coach, I don't know any too many other coaches, but without him doing that, it wouldn't instill the daily habits of trying to get better every time I'm on the floor.
Yeah.
And he if it's you do the dribble when you warm up, you mess up, you dribble him like a 5. You dribble him like a 5. And that was every day. It used to frustrate me every day. But it also helped me. But he was a guy who wanted perfection. And he always pushed you to get there. And then, the rest was history. The 3 years, fun. He allowed us to just play, use, our mental of just, calling our own plays, calling the flow of the game, learning how to play within the system through the flow of the game to understand what we can do and be the coach on the floor. That's how John was so great. We know, without John hitting that shot against North Carolina, we wouldn't have been past North Carolina.
Oh, he wouldn't have the mural in the cafeteria if he.
Nah, you wouldn't see that big light skin face up there.
You want to see the 2 light skin joint in there hitting that cash ball. Hey, John,
that's what it was.
Man, we talked about this with Pat. Man, John was a whole different level. How he didn't miss.
No, he didn't miss. And that was the thing. And that's what I love about our class. Coming in, we were guys who we gave John a lot of hell because you had I won a state championship. Tyler won 3, I think it was 2 or 3 in a row in high school. Pat was
I ain't play nobody.
Who, Tyler? Hey, you tell Tyler that, boy.
I don't want no smoke, T.Y. I'm good. I'm just messing with you. I don't want no problem.
Hey, you tell Tyler that, boy.
That's the big
that fire get lit. That fire get lit. Oh. But we had guys who just won. And we gave John a lot of crap because he didn't win in high school. So he didn't know what it was. But I never forget, the first time I met John, so he walked on the first year. Mm-hmm. So we were about to play Kenner League. I want to say this is when, no, I don't think this is when Steve was there. Steve Franks was there. This is I think it was just us. the tunes we about to play, and I was going out the double doors, going to the trainer room in McDonough, and Greg had brought John to the gym. So I walked out. I was the first person I saw. He was like, Greg said, this is the young cat that's gonna be throwing you oops. And I just looked at him and was like, all right, like he don't look like he ain't look like he can like really, really play. Yeah. You can ask Tyler, like me and Tyler was like, yeah. He was frail, like I never forget, he had like, the little shoestring book bag. He had one of those shoestring book bags. He was standing there like this. And I was like, all right, like, okay. I tell you, I lie to you not. The game started, he had to hit at least 8 threes that game.
Bang, like it's nothing.
8, and I'm talking about cash, no rim. And I was looking at him like, okay. Okay. See the little light skin boy, I see you. Boy got a jumper. Yeah. And ever since then, like it's like with John, like he's like steady, like knows the game, never flustered.
Right.
Controls the game.
Very even killed.
But that was like our class. We had a different characteristic for every person. Like you had John, who was just stoic, just like real chill. You had me, who was just like chill, like but like sometimes can lose, but sometimes just chill. You had Tyler, who was just never know, like just all the time, physical. He was the bodyguard. Yeah, Roy, who was Roy, the big man in the middle, and we got Pat, and Pat was the wild card. Pat was the guy who's gonna play hard. He was gonna dunk on you, be physical, and be chill. But he had moments where he flipped, but we had everything and put us together. It was good, man. Like I'm telling you, we did some good things. Like that's why like I really, really enjoyed like the 3 years. 3 years there because of them.
Well, let me ask this. Coming into college, right? If I'm recruiting, I said the same thing. I had this conversation with Pat. Me and Free was saying, you coming into college and now you're deciding where you're going. Everybody knows that you're elite athlete. You can run and jump, finish with anybody. So why wasn't your thinking to go to a more fast pace when you figure out that Esherick is not the guy? I mean, not the coach that's going to be your coach that recruited you. How did you feel just comfortable transitioning into that system, that style? Was that a fight? Was that difficult?
No, to be honest with you, like I didn't even know the style that coach was going to bring.
Okay.
Like we had a conversation, and he said, I understand, like I didn't recruit you, but I want you to come here. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna get better. I don't know. I mean, the guys that are there, we're gonna work with them, but I want you guys to come there. And I just trusted him.
Right.
I honestly just trusted him. Like I didn't know the style. I didn't know how he was gonna play me. I didn't know if he was just saying this to just, have some bodies there to like just fill in to get through his first couple of years till he established what he wanted to get done. I literally just trusted him. Like I didn't even know who he was, because I mean he was at Princeton. Like Princeton. Like, I'm not going to Princeton. Like a smart school. I don't think books. Nah, that's not me. So I didn't know what he did at Princeton. So we had that conversation. I literally was like, all right, I'm saying, and the rest was history. Like I just trusted his words, and then my dad knew the tradition of his family, where he came from. His dad, Big John. So it was like it's basketball history,
right?
And it's Georgetown. Right. You're going to a historic program,
and my boy,
and I'm home,
right?
And you're gonna get a good education,
right?
You staying, and I'm like,
Jeffrey's mom.
Yeah, and then my mom, hey, that's another story.
Hey, look, so when we were getting recruited, right? So I remember coming to one of the first games I ever remember seeing Jeff in that class at Georgetown is you guys were playing Temple. You're playing Temple at home.
That was my freshman year?
We had Marty Collins was on Temple.
Yeah.
And I remember because Jeff, right before the game, Brodus was on the sideline. Brodus was like, come on, Jeff. let's go,
TikTok,
right?
TikTok.
And Jeff is just looking at him like, yeah, I got you, bro. This, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then he put on the little black sleeve. Remember the black sleeves used to wear that everybody used to just cut
everybody cut up. Yeah.
the endless row. I'm like, what is that? I remember looking like, what is that? And I remember because I remember Martin Collins was so nice in college. Oh,
he
my
was
God.
cold.
He was
cold.
Smooth,
can shoot, handles.
Yeah, it was like you could tell that this guy's a next level player. Like he just had very easy, it flowed. But you can tell that it was something coming with you guys because you guys carried it differently. That whole class from John, Tyler, everybody, Roy was coming. You can just
I was mad at Roy because that was the start of the season.
Right.
And I wasn't expected to play center. Or if you like what a lot of people don't know, Roy didn't start a lot the freshman year.
No.
And that Temple team had they had two dudes, at least 300 pounds. I was like, I gotta play center against these dudes.
Right.
Roy is sitting over there. I got beat up so bad that game. I think we lost. We might have lost that game.
I think it was like a close game. I think.
Yeah. I was so mad at Roy.
Yeah.
Like, man, you should be out here, man. Like, you got me out here defending these big ass dudes. Come on, man. You gotta get yourself right, dog. You gotta get yourself right. And the next year, Roy became Roy.
Roy turned it. Boy, he was. I know I ain't never seen this guy hook like Kareem Abdul and all that.
Hey.
Listen, he was hooking the mess out of people.
Hey, everybody got a glimpse of that.
God.
You can't be a big fella.
That joint is a real flick on that. Wow.
Roy became a monster. He got serious about his work. He got serious about his body, and he became a monster, dog. Like it was good to see. I needed it.
Roy was the hardest. He's top 3 hardest worker I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, facts. Yes. Facts. Like when he realized what he needed to do to get to that next level, he put in that work.
Yeah, man, he put in the pain, no question about it.
Yeah. Facts. He put in that work. But that's what got him to where he was at in his career in the NBA. Like he ate better, worked out, worked on his footwork, became defensive player, like a year max player, all-star. Like
that boy started walking with his chest up.
Right. Hey.
Trash.
Big franchise.
He was a franchise now. Big franchise in the building. You knew when Roy was in the building.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, my man started coming in with the Louis little.
It was a whole different person.
Then he had the slippers. He had the slippers. It looked like, oh, Roy, I see you, big dog.
Like, go ahead, big franchise. I ain't mad at you, man.
Big dog became something else, man.
Yeah, he became special. All right, Jeffrey.
Yeah, so we want to get into your junior year. All right. Just give us a little bit about the team at the time and what changed,
Because I think Pat is lying, but I want to hear you.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. Like,
you think he was lying?
Yeah.
About our team of junior year?
Yeah.
No, he's a fairy tale.
Yeah.
You know what
I'm gonna let you know now. I think there's no disrespect to any team that came before us or after us. Our junior year team was amazing. You got to think who we had. We had Vernon Macklin,
right?
DeJuan Summers,
right?
Austin was highly. Not Austin. Jeremiah, who was recruiting coming out of high school. Myself, Roy, John, Tyler, Pat. Who else we had? Tay from Atlanta, who was a big guard. We had Marcus. Like we had a squad.
That team was not better than the year when you were rookie in the NBA. It was not better than our Roy and them senior year. We had more talent that year.
Not possible. Not possible.
With me and Free on that what? With
not
these
possible.
Huh?
Not possible.
I don't know, Jeff.
Yeah. I'm telling you, bro. Our team was stacked.
want to hear why. Okay.
Yeah, our team was stacked. We had every position we were deep. Every position we were deep. We had guys who should have played in Big Ticket and Vernon, Tay, Jeremiah. Like we had a lot of guys who didn't play much, and we were still good. Like and the players that didn't play were good. Like I'm talking about like
super talented.
Very. It would have been if they got the chance. You know what I mean? Like you see when Vernon transferred to Florida, he had success.
Yeah, he became a pro.
And that year was amazing. Like it was fun. Like we went on like 2 11, 12 game winning streaks. The second one, we deserved to lose. It was the second to last game before Big East tournament. We lost at Syracuse.
Yeah.
We were like number 4 or something in the nation. Like we were really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should have won the championship that year. But I played like shit in the Final Four. I had 2 fouls in like the first 5 minutes.
I do remember that.
And I played like shit.
I remember that.
Like Rory had 19 and 10 against Greg Oden, and John was killing. I just had a terrible ass game.
I mean,
I remember that tournament run. Me and Chris was at the McDonald's game.
Yeah.
And even the tournament run. We almost lost to Notre Dame, was it?
Vanderbilt.
No. Oh, in the tournament, I was thinking Big East.
Both of them.
East,
but the
Big East we almost lost too.
Yeah.
But Vanderbilt.
You had one of the run. You had a run, a stretch there where you, and personally, it was like.
Oh, I was averaging like 19, 20. The second, I think it might have been the second win streak when we played at Cincinnati. I think it was Cincinnati.
Right.
Like Louisville. It was a Marquette, Cincinnati at home. Like I went on a stretch where I was averaging close to like almost 20 a game.
Oh, you was torching. You had one of the runs. Only person I witnessed personally because I was there, that had a better single stretch run like
Otto
play. No. I'm talking about that I would know about. Tim Walker. That was just.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was unheard of.
That run was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
That was crazy. But you had a run like that in a sense where you just separated from the pack your junior year. As good as you were, as good as everybody knew you were, you had a time period where you just, I'm
gonna tell you where it started my sophomore year when we played Duke. When we beat Duke when it was number 1. Right. That was the game where I was like, I actually can I think I can actually go to the NBA.
Right.
Because coming in for me, I can't speak for everybody. For me, I've always try to stay in the present. So I wasn't thinking NBA. We can get to it later, but I wasn't thinking man, I got to get to the NBA in a year or 2 years or 3 years. I was like, man, I'm at Georgetown. Let me enjoy this.
Right.
I love being roommates with John, Tyler.
Right.
I was having fun.
Right.
But that Duke game, when we beat Duke when they was number 1, that's what I was like, oh man. That was in the movies, you know how after something happened, a basketball, a good game happened and that music started to cue. And then you start getting the flashes of the game. That's when it hit me. It was we played JJ Redick, who was an absolutely monster.
I was there.
I was there too. Man.
But it was Sheldon Williams. I killed Sheldon Williams.
Yeah.
And he was highly ranked, to be drafted. And I was like, man, I might have a chance. This can kind of work.
Right.
And then the next year, it just went to a whole new level. Coach put me in a position where I was handling a lot more. I just became more aggressive.
You got better.
I got better.
Because your hand was a lot tighter. You know, everything was a lot crisper at that time.
I was shooting at the top of the key. I started shooting at the top of the key a little bit more. But that's when it started. And then it carried over to junior year, and our team got better. We had a couple freshmen come in who would push us.
Right.
And we just got better, and we got better each year. And that junior year was just special, really special.
Yeah, they had a squad, man.
Really good team, man. Really good team.
Telling you, dog. I don't know what Pat said, but I believe him.
Hey, Jeff, man, let's keep it real, man. If we line it up, we gonna kill y'all. I'm just letting y'all know.
I'm just saying, I mean,
Wait.
Just be honest, because none of y'all know.
Man, I'm telling you.
And I got nothing but love for y'all. I love you to death, but it ain't happening.
Hey, look, I'm telling you, bro. We were, and dog, you gotta understand like how big we were. Like you talking about John at the point, Jesse Sapp, who I failed to mention. Jesse Sapp, who was a monster. You know, if we get out of Princeton, you know what he about. That's my guy in New York.
Yeah.
You know what he about. Then we had DeJuan starting at the 3.
Right.
6'8". We had Jesse, who was 6'5".
Oh my God. You are reaching.
No.
Hey, but Jesse was a big guard. He was
big guard. We'll give you big guard. But 6'5"? No.
Yeah, John, I mean, you and John the same height.
Me and John 6 feet, yeah.
Me and John might be a little short. But then you have me, and then you have Roy.
Hey, if Sapp was 6'5", he's starting at the point in the league right now.
Yeah, facts. I reached on that one. You know, I was just trying to, exaggerate a little bit. But we were good.
No, y'all were amazing.
And that was starting 5. And then we had Pat, who won 6 man of the year. Well, he won 6 man of the year with y'all.
With us. That's what I'm saying. We had a different Pat.
Yeah. It's the same, man. Look, we was legit, bro. I'm telling you.
Oh, nah, the record speak for itself and how y'all won. And just,
Well, I mean, y'all just ran into, a guy who was just hot during the year and Stephen Curry in the tournament.
We ran into a hurricane, man. We really
did. Yeah,
did.
It wasn't that momentum that kid had. Like, it wasn't nothing nobody could do. Nobody.
No. Nobody. But I will say, if we had the chemistry that your team had the year before, if we had the belief and trust in the system, and it wasn't as, people weren't thinking about, I need to get up out of here type situation, we would have beat them and went to Elite 8. Easy.
At least.
everybody
because our team was we were winning and nobody was happy.
Y'all won the regular season.
Yeah.
Won the regular
season.
Who
y'all lose to in the tournament?
We lost in the title to
in the title game.
Who?
The Pitt.
To Pitt. Oh, okay.
Yep. We lost to Pitt. They had DeJuan Blair. You know, Pitt is always a tough matchup.
Yeah, they just physical.
Yeah, they physical.
And DeJuan was killing. He was getting his name out there.
Oh my God, he was a monster. We played them our freshman year after. So look, sophomore year. So this was fool's gold for us. So we played on like Saturday night against UConn at UConn. You know what I'm saying? They like top 5 in the country. Hashim to beat, AJ Price, Dice, Andy Robinson, all those guys. Kimball was on that team too. Moose's freshman year. And we went up there and destroyed them on ESPN. Bad.
We really beat them.
Like it wasn't even close. This is like the first week in Big East play. Big Monday, we got Pittsburgh at home. We got Pittsburgh at home. And when I say DeJuan Blair, he just killed every facet of the game at Georgetown. That's why I was like, man, if we're going to win the Big East, we're going to have to go through Pitt. Because it was a different level. We controlled Hashim Three. We were ready for that type of player. We weren't ready for DeJuan Blair and what he brought to the table.
Yeah, and like the crazy part with DeJuan is like he's not even that tall.
No.
But he dominated the boards. He had a quick second jump.
Right.
And he was killing on that little small short corner in the block.
Right. And he had great hands. Quick hands.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He had great hands. So he was just this. I remember we running I'm dribbling a free through, whatever, trying to throw the little point pass to Roy.
Yeah.
Man, he shoot the passing lane, get the steal, poof, run me over, go down big roll the drive. I'm like, oh, timeout. You know what I'm saying?
That was Pittsburgh though. Like my first Big East game was at Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And I'll never forget this. We came out of a timeout. That place got so loud.
Yeah, that's zoo.
It
Boy.
felt like my eyeballs were shaking, like literally moving. I was like, damn, like this is what it is. Like,
yeah,
this is gonna be a long ass year. Like, I don't want to come back here and play. This is tough.
Yeah,
and they had I forgot the kid name. They had the dude that used to throw the X.
Wow.
I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is gonna be a long college career.
Yeah.
They always have them players that's just tough and physical.
Yeah.
Every year. Every year.
Then they had like a Brad Wanamaker, and they just always had Jermaine Dixon,
Sam Young,
Terrell Bigg, Gilbert Brown. They had a squad all the time.
Yeah, man, college. Seems like yesterday.
Yeah, right. All right. So junior year is over. You guys made it to the Final Four. Played Ohio State. Now Jeff Green is they're talking about it. You get drafted number 5 in the 2007 NBA draft. Just give the people your experience with that, and
yeah. What a lot of people don't know is that I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to put my name in the draft. So after we lost to Ohio State, we stayed after we left the next day, and we get to Georgetown and we're coming to McDonough, and Coach Thompson calls me in his office. So I'm like, what is it about? Like off-season workouts? Like what we doing? Like go to class?
Right.
He said, look, I know we just lost, but you're not coming back next year.
Right.
And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, he's like, you putting your name in the draft. You done everything you could do as an individual player. You don't need to come back next year. So I'm like, so I responded like, we can win it next year. Like I don't want to put my name in the draft. Like we got a good team. No, you're putting your name in the draft. We're not having this conversation.
Right.
And that was it. So he's the reason that I went in the draft, that I got put in the draft.
That's crazy.
It wasn't my decision.
Time to go.
Yeah, because if it was my decision, I would have stayed my senior year. Because Roy put his name in the draft as well, but he came back.
Yeah.
But I wanted to come back because of the guys we had. You guys come, like we would have imagine that team.
I know. If you would have came back.
Yeah. Exactly. And that was my thinking.
We preseason one if you come back.
Like, come on, like coach. Nah. You're going in the draft. And I couldn't say no.
No, you couldn't.
And the nervousness that I had, going that whole like workouts, everything, like it was unreal. But I mean, coach, he was the reason. It wasn't nothing else. It was you going in the draft, nothing you can say about it. Okay, bye. You know how you do. Okay, bye. Okay. That was it. And then I get drafted to the furthest place that I can possibly go. Never been to the West Coast. And I go to Seattle, amazing city. Even though we lost, we won. How many games in my rookie year? 19 games.
Yeah.
My rookie year.
Yeah.
But it was an amazing, because I had KD.
Right.
KD was, from home. He was somebody who I can talk to because he understood where we come from. I ain't had nobody. And then he had his couple boys come out. He had Charlie Bell, who I was really close with in high school. And we kicked it. So I enjoyed it, but I didn't want to leave. Like I want to finish out. Like, I was embarrassed when I went back for that graduation the following year with John and them. Actually, if you talk to John, it's a picture that he has. His mom and him have. Mm-hmm. They're all in their graduation gowns and caps, and I'm on the edge in the white polo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I literally look at the picture, and that was the motivation to want to come back.
Right.
Like, man, I got to get my degree. Like, my boys got the degree, and I was supposed to finish with them.
Right.
Man, I got to get that. Like this pit is just awkward. It's awkward to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And but that whole ordeal going into the draft and that rookie year, it was tough because I was solo and going to Seattle, going into a new environment, playing in the NBA. As much as I wanted to be in the NBA, like it was just that transition was super tough because like it's unfamiliar territory in which you don't know nothing. You got to survive on your own. You got to figure out how to live on your own with not having any family or anybody to console in, like when it's tough times. It's just a phone call, but like to have like face to face, you know, talks with to get you through. Like it was difficult, but you know, I would always call, man, what y'all doing, man? They enjoying senior year. Man, I can't wait to get back. And we losing. We lost 19 games out of 82. Like I was thinking about the summer in December.
Right.
I knew we was done.
Right.
It was a good year. It was fun, but it was definitely a year of adjustments. But yeah, like coach was the start of it. You gone.
I remember that's so crazy. Like when Moose left. Remember when Moose used to be calling back free? And he used to be talking about all the time, man, I wish I was back in school.
Yeah, man.
We like, dog, we got class and
we
wish you was back in school. You ain't gotta do nothing. You just go, we all mad and all this. Talk about you was back in school. And man. So it's funny that you saying that too. And just that experience, man. And that's real. People don't take that into consideration when you think about
they don't.
You know, these pro basketball players and stuff, they don't take into consideration just how much of it you just thrown out there into the, into the real world, and you got to deal with it.
Just got a couple more questions here.
Hold on. The joint froze a little bit.
Froze?
All right, there you go. I can hear you now.
Okay. All right, bet. I mean, we know the NBA is a business, and we all try to figure out why.
I don't understand this.
They're traded. Well, we don't understand. Me and him don't understand. But you've been traded a couple times.
Yeah.
How's that experience? And did you have any hard feelings?
The only one I had hard feelings about was the Oklahoma to Boston, because it's the first one. We had a young team. We just won 52 games. Lost to the Lakers.
Yeah.
In the first round, they went on to win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
It was me, Russell, James, KD, Serge, Nick Collison. Like we had a squad.
Yeah, I had a mob.
And I mean, it was just personal because it was like we were all like literally really, really close.
Right.
And then you never being traded is like somebody kicking you out the family and not wanting to talk to you no more. It's like, damn, like,
right.
What do I do to deserve this? Like, and you don't know because you're young. You don't realize the business side of it because you get so emotionally attached to it.
Right.
And that's probably the only one that I really took personal. Okay. And then after going through what I went through with the heart surgery and everything, like it became more personal. And then after that, like, man, this is 13 years now.
Right.
You start to realize, yeah, I know. And you know what's funny? I had a call earlier today, and like you don't realize it until you actually say it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. How many years is this for you, Joe? 13. Yeah, 13.
Yeah.
Like 13.
Yeah.
Like that's a long time, and people only see like, oh, I played with 8 teams, but I played 13 years.
Right.
13 years. Like that is a long time to be in the NBA.
No question. That's a long time to be in any profession.
Any profession. Like 13 years. And people are like, oh, but you played on 18. Yeah, but I've also been paid a lot of money for 13 years.
Yeah.
So I'm not complaining at all.
And you done dunked on a whole lot of people in the process.
Yeah, like people I can walk out the street, people know. They be like, man, I remember that that dunk you had against somebody said today.
Yeah.
So I was working out. I was doing basketball and I was working out, and the guy who was with my trainer, he's like, Jeff, man, who was that you dunked on body to body when you was with Boston? And like mentally, I go,
Rudy Gobert.
it was Al Jefferson.
Oh, goodness.
About that one. Yeah.
Like for me, it's like, I mean, I had a not to sound like cocky, but I was like, man, I had a lot that year. Like, I don't really remember, but it's like, you know, people remember certain points.
Yeah.
So like for me, it's like I had 13 years, and people remember.
Mm-hmm.
Like that happened. Like that was my fifth year in the league, fourth year in the league.
Yeah.
And I'm at 13, so that's damn near 10 years ago.
You remember that?
Yeah. So for me, it's like, man, what I got to complain about? What I understand it's a business. Like everything that I've been through in my career has been business decisions.
Right.
Being traded from Oklahoma to Boston, excuse me, a business decision based on contracts. Me getting traded from Boston to Memphis, business decisions because of my contract.
Mm-hmm.
And then me getting traded from Memphis to LA, business decisions. But that was because Mike and Mark got hurt, and our chances were really, really slim of doing anything in the playoffs. So Memphis wanted to get something back. I was a valuable piece for a lot of teams. So they got, you know, picks back, first round picks. So it was a business decision. But when you're young, you don't really realize that. You're just like, man, why I keep getting traded, man? Like, what am I not doing? And then you start, and that's where the negative parts start coming in. You start looking at other guys and being like, how the fuck is he still on the team?
Right.
Better than him. Right. Yeah, but you can't let it get.
That's true. That's competitive. That's being competitive, and you know.
Yeah, and like you just got to take your mental out of that mind state. Is like, why me? You just be like, man, I'm still playing.
But Jeff, see, my thing is this, bro. Like, you are the prototype when it comes to recruiting an athlete, when it comes to building a team, when it comes to filling out a roster and trying to figure out what you need for your team. You cross every checklist to me. You know what I'm saying? You cross,
and that's a big part of like my thinking. Like it's like what I always going like to a contract negotiation. Like, tell me, what can I not do?
Nothing.
And that's what gets tough.
Right.
And that's where you gotta like really take out the personal side. Right. Because teams gonna do what they want.
Right.
They're gonna spend what they want to spend on players who they think potentially can help. Yeah, 60, 70% of it don't go the way they think it'll go. Right. And they regret some of it. But that's when you got to realize it is a business. And that's what I had to do. And I didn't realize that until probably 2 years ago. It's like, what can I not do that these other dudes keep getting this? I know I can do this. I've shown I can do this.
I ain't gonna mention no names, but some of these guys getting these 5 years, 50 million, 60 million, 40 years, 80 million, 3 points on 12.
Hey, believe me. I've been through it.
Wait a minute.
I've sat in front of my wife like almost to a point like just frustrated. It's like, what is going on? Like, is it me? Is it my agency? Is it this? But then you got to realize they're gonna do what they want.
Right.
They're going to build teams. They have an idea. They know what you can do. They know what I can do. They know.
Right.
But to them is we gotta do this route because we feel like it's best for us. But they know deep down if I was on the team, I can help. But they don't want to spend the money. They don't want to do this. They'd rather get somebody else who might have potential, but they don't have the understanding to develop that potential. So it can backfire.
Yeah, it's the same thing overseas. You know, it's the same.
Yeah, I mean, I've been through it with John. Like, I've been in the same situation. So I know, like, where y'all come from in that situation as far as, you know, knowing, like, how the hell is he getting X amount? I know him better than him. I've shown him Look at my rap sheet.
Right.
I know some can't do what I do.
At all, you know.
But that's the business side Free talked about. Like,
it's a political side of the game. It's just other factors. People have their mind made up on what they want to do.
Yeah, and I mean, people don't really people on the outside don't really see that. They don't really notice that. They don't know that part of the game.
They think that's a reflection of how good you are.
Yeah,
because it's somebody else's opinion, which doesn't necessarily translate.
Yeah, like the opportunity might not have came the way I wanted it to, but I think I have superseded a lot of expectations of what people thought I would really do. Like my career average is 14 a game.
Right.
But people don't know that. Like, you know how hard it is to average a career average after 13 years of 14 a game?
Yeah.
How hard it is to average 10 a game?
Oh yeah.
People think it's easy just to go out there in the NBA and get 10 points. It's hard.
Right.
Like, it's hard to score in the NBA. Like, you talking about every night you got the top talent in the world playing. Like, it's difficult, but people only see a certain small amount of it. They see the LeBrons, they see the Russells, they see certain people doing what they're doing, getting the triple doubles, getting 20, Andre Drummond getting 20 rebounds a game. Like, that's difficult. I wish I could get 20 rebounds a game.
Right.
But I mean, for some people it's easier, but like the business side of that, like, it took me a long time to really, really understand it, because my age, I mean, David Falk, he would school me on it, but it's one ear out the other. That's not my field. I don't really know it. That's why I got you, man.
Right.
My job was to play basketball, but at the end of the day, you got to understand it to really know where you're going and what you're dealing with, because it could become emotionally draining, and you can become like, it can hurt like your mental. Right. So I mean, I just developed that in the last couple of years. It's like, all right, take the business side out, just enjoy the moment, enjoy basketball, go out there, work hard, and maybe next year, you'll turn some heads. If not next year, do it again. Right. I don't believe in age.
Right.
I don't believe in it. Like, I work to get better. I don't care what it is. Like,
yeah, you still putting in work.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. Like, that's what it is. Because, I mean, at some point, they're going to start to understand. I had a coach after 1 year who didn't play me as much. I just signed a good deal. He didn't play me and a couple other veterans as much. And then at the end of the year, he was like, man, you know what? I realized what it takes to win. Should have played y'all. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, in my head, I just hit that nigga with a jab and uppercut, right?
Just body slam.
Yeah, like, come on, dad. Like, don't tell me that after the fact. But I mean, the business side that's the gray area that a lot of people don't see, and that's the toughest part of the NBA.
That's a job. Well, I commend you, man. 13 years is nothing to sneeze at and just walk past. Like, 13 years at that level, and always having an impactful role on each team is unbelievable.
Regardless of the situations.
Regardless of the situation, regardless of what you
every year too. So
that's, I mean, how many you got left? How many great ones you got left?
Shit. My goal, I always say my goal is to get 15.
Oh, you walking up on that like it's nothing.
Exactly. So like, because I looked at like AI, I looked at Dikembe, Alonzo, all the greats from Georgetown. Mm-hmm. The careers they had, like, it was all 15 plus. And the positions they got in after that, because of the longevity, the relationships, the networking, it helped the transition after basketball.
That's beautiful.
So like, my mindset was to always look for 15. When I get to 15, then my max goal is 17.
17.
Yeah, and then after that, we'll see. Like, my kids, they growing. I'm like this pandemic really helped me. Like, because at first I was like, I'm gonna do it till the wheels fall off. I don't care. But now I was like, all right, I got my goal is 15. But max goal 17. Then after that, I need to see my kids grow up. Like, to start school, play.
You cooking though as year 17, man. What if you Jeff start going back to, you get cornrows again. You started.
No, I can't get cornrows with this ball spot that's going right here.
But what I'm saying, Jeff, like you great. You look great. You feel great. I mean, you're 17. They still talking like, hey, we need you, big fella.
At the same time, this game is getting faster and faster and faster.
Yeah, it is.
You talking about when I first came in this league, they always said Steve Nash and the Phoenix Suns were the top team in pace.
Right.
That was at 100 points a game, 90-some points a game?
In
07. 08, 07.
Right.
Look, now they would have been last.
No question.
They last. So just imagine 5 years from now, me in my 18th year, 37 years old, 38.
You're being humble right now.
Yeah, that's all. We'll take it.
I mean,
we'll take it. I mean, if you got a set date on it, and you know when the gas tank is on E, then I feel you. Nobody knows.
Yeah, I always said this. Like even Gilbert says it. Like when you get to a certain point,
right,
and you're still like, teams are calling, but you can't really play.
Right.
And like it's time, and like movement, like move, like with the like it's just time. Like there's no reason for me to take the opportunity away from a young kid because I want to feel greedy and still play.
Right.
And I said this to a young kid like yesterday, like, look, man, what we do beyond this point, as far as playing and negotiating the CBA and everything, is for y'all. Like I'm already halfway out the door.
Right.
Like what we do now is for you guys to be set up to be able to build something for your family.
Right.
I'm already set. Like I can quit and be great for the rest of my life.
Right.
You now have an opportunity in which you can do the same for your family and wherever you come from.
Right.
Now, I don't want to take that opportunity away from no kid who's going to be playing in the next 10 years. Right. Like that's not me. Like I can't see myself doing that. And that's why like I've started recently to be like, all right, 17 years, 18 years max. After that, like, because I know, like, with the role that I have now, that can get me to 15 easily. But after that, it's about maintaining and being able to get to 17 if that's what I want to do. And then after that, it's like, it is what it is.
Well, we praying for that healthy 17, man. We want
Appreciate it, brothers. Appreciate it. We'll see. I'm year by year, baby. Look, you still got to play this year, so I mean, who knows?
Right.
In the bubble.
Go ahead, Free.
All right. We'll just make this the last question here. Georgetown now. What is it going to take for us to be a contender again? We all love Georgetown. We all love it.
Right.
Who's going to get us to be a contender again?
At this point, I think Big Pat just need to recruit some dogs. Like it ain't really about talent. You can build into talent. You can build into somebody working to be better. But you can get a talented kid who can come in and just shoot, but it's not going to always translate into winning. He got to get kids who's going to be hungry to play for each other. Get some kids from the area. I always said it. You need somebody from the area on Georgetown. Always. Get a couple kids who's going to play hard, who's going to have that dog, who's going to fight, who's going to fight for Georgetown to be able to be put back on the map. Because the last couple of years, I mean, we've had talent.
Dream talent. We've had talent.
Yeah, but it didn't go nowhere because it was talent that was individualized.
Yeah.
It wasn't for Georgetown. It wasn't for Georgetown. But, I mean, hopefully, because you got to think, like, we all like to brag.
Yeah, man, I'm tired of losing to people on these.
I'm
tired of in these locker rooms and everything. Oh, it's automatic bet when
automatic bet. And I'm tired of handing out hundreds.
Goodness, man. And then we'll lose. Don't let us play like a Nova and I gotta play somebody and we lose bad.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like the worst, I had a bet with Pascal Siakam. Not Pascal Siakam, the kid from Golden State that went to Nova.
Oh,
Eric
Eric Pascal, or what's his name?
Yeah. No, Hall. I forgot his name. It's short-term memory. And I remember talking to him during the Villanova game this year, and we lost at the buzzer.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You know, we had the game.
Yes.
He was up like 1 or 2 at the end and fouled to do something.
Yeah.
Did something stupid. I'm like, oh, not another one.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm tired. Like, I need to brag. Like, to wear the gear, people be like, man, y'all ain't won nothing since like 2010. And it's like,
right. Like, you ain't got
a point. Like, you got a point, but I'm still going to rep it.
Yeah, you got to relax. Stop talking
about
it.
Facts. It's like, man, everybody go through their ups and downs. We just going through ours right now.
It's just a little extended, but we coming back.
Yeah. Facts. We'll see. But it's like, we just need some dogs, man. I think we need just a couple guys who are just going to scrap.
Right.
Because right now, I don't know a lot of the kids that's on the team right now.
Well, I mean, it's a whole new crop of guys coming in. You got to remember, because a lot of these guys left for whatever reason. This year was obviously tumultuous for us.
Yeah. I just know DeMarco's still there.
DeMarco is he's
so it's his turn.
Yeah, it's his turn.
His chance this year. Yeah.
It's his turn to show, what we about. So I got a few questions, quick questions. If you got top 5 players at Georgetown, give me a team. You got 5 players. Don't
top
give me
players.
Jeff.
Yeah, you can't. Not you. You know what I mean? Not the fantastic 5 that y'all have, but just.
That was our name, though, by the way.
John used to say it all the time when, because John was my roommate. So, yeah.
Now, my top 5, so definitely AI.
Right.
Big Pat.
Right.
Sleepy.
Okay.
Okay, Sleepy. I'm going to go.
Pat said John Wallace at point over AI. And I was like, John. I mean, it's like,
I love John, but
I was like, Pat, listen.
No.
John is amazing, but Allen Iverson, bro.
No.
What we talking about here? Okay, go on. I just had to interrupt you. Okay, go ahead.
Sure.
Got your 3 and 4.
Are we doing position? You want to do each position?
However you want to do it.
However you want to do it.
I love when Mike Sweeney was there, he was killing.
Incredible. He's one of my favorite Hoyas all the time. I tell people that all the time.
That's hard. You got Zoe,
take
Victor
Mike
Page.
Yeah.
Take Mike or Zoe.
I'm going Mike.
Going with Mike.
Because Mike was more skilled on the box that he can go to work.
Beast on that block.
You got Big Pat guarding the rim. Mike Sweetney on the post. AI and Sleepy just giving buckets.
Goodness gracious.
Dang, I don't know who else I'll pick. I think Otto had a good couple years.
Ooh, okay.
It was hard because he only had 2. I mean, AI was different.
Yeah.
You can put him on there though. I like it. Because that run he had his second year was.
Yeah, that second year, like that game against Syracuse.
Yeah. He looked like he scored like every point for us.
In UConn, at UConn.
Yeah, I remember that game too. Yep.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's actually really tough. I never even thought about that.
So you go Otto. Would you? Okay. Did you not put yourself in there on purpose, or you're not putting?
Y'all said don't put myself.
No, don't
put the Brady Bunch. I ain't say don't put yourself.
Oh hell yeah, I'm definitely on that team then.
Oh, okay.
Mike Sweeney, move over, brother.
Dang, Mike got to move up. I thought what's that? Not Otto. You gonna keep Otto in there?
Hey man, sorry, Mike. That's because Mike used to kill me and pick up, dog.
Right.
He used to come back, dog. He used to kill me, dog.
Right.
He used to give me that. He used to hit me with that Bible, like, dog, you are too heavy to be guarding, right. And just sweep, jump, and turn around, just cash.
Yeah, Mike was tough. He had great touch, great hands.
He was tough.
He was in great position, man.
He was a beast.
I know we didn't touch on it too much today, but you know, obviously you going through the heart surgery and how you bounce back from that. And I have a funny story about that because that was my rookie year, I think. My rookie year or something like that. It was in 2012 when you had the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that was my rookie. That was me and Free's rookie year. And I got diagnosed with MS right after that.
Yeah.
2 months after that. But I remember seeing you when I came back home for like a couple weeks and you were just walking. I remember you were in McDonough Gymnasium walking real slow and real ginger. And you were just happy as can be, the same way you are right now. And I was like, how is this dude just
Right.
Yeah, man. Like it was a moment that made me like put a different perspective, different lens on life. Like you gotta think like this surgery was it's a weird aftermath of a surgery. So I had the surgery like on a Monday. I had to get up and start moving. You talking about heart surgery? I had to get up and start moving by Wednesday. And rehab for that is just walking. Like it was the weirdest thing. Like I couldn't carry. So you know, I'm being dramatic. Like I couldn't carry nothing. Like look, I couldn't carry nothing over 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can do was just walk. Right. That was me all day. Just walk. I remember I went to Pentagon City, me and my pops. Just walk.
Right.
Just walk. That was all I can do.
Yeah. I remember you walking around the gym.
Yeah, and it, like you, especially like being in the gym, you start just realizing, damn, I didn't remember I used to run up and down this court.
Right.
Damn. So it like made you like put just the appreciation on it. Like, man, I missed that. You know, just getting back to it. Man, I missed this. And that's what it was.
And I never told nobody, but that seeing you like that and seeing you trying to, you know, fight through that and how you was moving helped me tremendously.
Yeah, and I watched you like because you know, come back, get on Dallas and just play, be the first player, you know, to get.
I played against you.
Yeah, right. We played in Dallas. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
yeah,
it was. Yeah, I remember I saw you when I ran out. When I ran out for the warm-ups. Yeah, but that's what it's about, man. It's just like because you don't realize who really watching. You know what I mean? Like who's gonna notice? Like you don't know how many people like you just inspired by just you know being the first player ever to play. You know, MS. You know, being picked up. Like that's stuff that, and you probably like ran into people who's like, man, you know, such and such. I know such and such that had MS. Man, you was inspiration.
Oh, all the time.
Like it's just the weirdest thing. But like for me, like that's what it was about. It was just like, man, just like I got to get out there. And then when I got out there, it was just like so many people just you know sending emails like we appreciate you know you being an inspiration. But I'm like, I didn't do nothing. But then you realize, like,
I'm just doing what I always did. Yeah. And what I always want to do. Nothing I'm doing different. It just this is what I always wanted to do.
Yeah. You know? And it's like, wow, like I inspire somebody, and then it becomes a different perspective. It's like, man, like this is life. Like, like you got to appreciate it a little bit more, and that's what it was about. And that's why, like, the smile, just the everyday, just happy, energized. Like that was me afterwards. It was just like you just appreciate life, like looking outside, seeing the sun, like. Being in the pandemic, sitting in the house, like, I'm cool. Like, I ain't got to go nowhere. You know, I got my family, I got my daughters. I'm cool. You know, but I'm here.
Right.
You know, but that's what it was, man. That heart surgery really, it helped me. It helped me because I mean, who knows the road I would have went down. I mean, I was in the NBA, but at the same time, you can get lost in this life. It's like, you know, doing whatever you want, having the money, having, you know. People know who you are, you know, going out. Oh, you such and such, man. You come in here, like, it's cool. You know, you get lost in that. You know, but for me, I had, you know, big man upstairs. Hey, sit down.
Right.
You doing too much.
That's how I was.
You right. Let me sit down real quick.
Yeah, let me sit down. Let me figure it. I gotta learn how to walk again. I gotta learn how to do everything again. That was my saying. Yeah. Like, you know, I had to teach myself how to do all that. So seeing you and seeing that was a, you know, major factor for me. I got one more question. I could talk all day. I can ask you questions all day, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I got one question, man. I'm a basketball junkie. It's a two-part question. Mm-hmm. So you've been in the league for now 13 years. Obviously, you've had a long career. You played in NBA Finals. You played in many important games. How has the game progressed, and what has been the biggest jump since you've been in the NBA? That's the first part of your question. And the second part of the question would be, how do you feel about what's going on right now in terms of the league? And, in terms of guys coming to play?
Well, to answer your first question, the biggest jump, like, cause I played in 2 different eras.
Right.
When I got drafted, everything was 2 bigs and then the other 3 perimeter. Right. You throw it in, and if they throw it out, that's how we play.
Right.
It was the first to 100. Then, if you hold the team, a good high scoring game back when I came in 07 was 92 to 80, 86 to 80, you know what I mean? Like, and that's like, man, we did it. Like, good job, man. Like, you know what I mean? And then probably like when I got to Memphis is when it started to really change. That's when Golden State.
And when's this? What time period?
This was 2000. So it's probably like 2015.
Okay. So you met
16. Yeah. Okay. And that's when Steph Curry and them, that's when they hit that, they got hot. Because I was with Memphis. We had them 2-1 in the playoffs. And Steph just went hot.
I remember vividly.
Got hot. Yeah. And ever since then, dramatically, it just started to drift to small ball.
Right.
Because teams started, how Golden State win? They had Draymond at the 5. They started a big at the 5, and then he came out early. Andrew Bogut came out early, put Draymond at the 4, spread the floor. Then we got shooters. Now the floor is open. Man, we like that. Every team started to do it.
Right.
So everybody started to transition into small ball.
Right.
So then it became, man, these bigs are becoming limited.
Right.
And it sucked.
Right.
Because one of the good friends, Moose, is like, he can play. He can play now in the league. But it just changed. It's copycat league. It happens.
Right.
You win, team wins, you have 2 bigs. Man, we need 2 bigs to win.
Right.
Team wins, small ball, man, we should go small. Be quicker. It's just what it is. Team shoots all threes, just threes and layups. Man, we gotta have shooters.
Do you have a preference?
Huh?
You have a preference?
Man, I don't care. As long as I get picked up.
You know what? No. And that's the thing about you. You one of those dudes, you got the product that ain't never going to go out of style.
Yeah.
That's why
the blessing.
It's like, yo, Jeff is a 3. You got to give him a 4-year deal to me. That's why I look at you like, yo, these dudes are strippers.
Yeah, and this is business.
You baby James Worthy, and they not trying to recognize that.
And that's and that's the business part, and it's just like, it is what it is, but I can always be on the floor. That's why I always ask the question, what can I not do?
Oh, you the product. As long as the product is good, they're going to keep knocking at the door, right?
Exactly. And I'm going to keep on. How you doing? Come in. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. But, it's the transition, it wasn't really a tough one because, like you said, like, I can play different ways, so I adapt.
Right.
My rookie year, I wasn't even allowed to shoot 3-pointers.
Right.
And that's just, my coach is like, hey, drive, run the floor.
Right.
Okay, you got it. Right. And then probably like 50 games, after 50 games, 60 games, you can probably shoot 1 or 2 a game, from out the corners. Nothing from up the bend, just the corners.
Right.
Now is, hey, Jeff, you get it, launch it.
Shoot it.
Right. Yeah, and that was the transition. Like my first year, 2 bigs, now it was positionless basketball. Look at us right now in Houston.
Yeah.
Look how we start. Our tallest guy is.
You back to being that Roy again because you playing the 5.
I'm the 5 man now. Yeah, thank you, Roy. I appreciate you, Roy. I knew how to play it now. Thank you. And then ask it to your second question. Like right now, I mean, this is how I look at it. With all that's going on outside of basketball,
right?
Us playing again, now we have a platform. We always have a platform, but it's different. Mm-hmm. We have media from all over. I mean, I don't know how much they're going to allow in, who's going to cover what. But at the end of the day, we have access to the media, which is going to touch on a lot of what's going on. So now we have the platform to say what we want, not an Instagram post.
Right.
That's going to last 2 minutes.
Right.
Only 5 or 6, or maybe one, LeBron James is going to make it to ESPN.
Right.
And not an Instagram post. Now we have multiple guys
right.
with a platform that can speak on the social injustice that's going on in this world. That's how I look at it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, basketball, we're going to play basketball. People want to see sports.
Right.
It's facts. Right. And nothing's going to change about, like, how we're being treated. Like, I mean, I think, what do we have to complain about?
There's a lot to complain about.
Well, obviously because of the pandemic.
Right.
It's risky. I'm talking about just as being as an NBA player, not the pandemic itself. Right. But I know from future and how we are treated, they're going to do everything and above to accommodate us. But as basketball players, being used to being free to move and go when we please, that's going to be the toughest part. To have access to certain things, to have access to certain things that we're used to is going to be tough.
Right.
Not having all the information of what's available, how are we really going to protect ourselves with people coming in and out who work for the hotels?
Right.
You know, that's the gray area in which is like,
What's the whole philosophy on families? Well, I didn't or no.
Well, the families can't come until the second round of the playoffs, which I agree, but it's also tough having a family because right now I'm in Houston. I go back for this weekend, Father's Day, and I come back Monday. From the 22nd until August 30th. I won't see my wife or my kids.
Right.
And that's the hard part. It's like, damn, like, man, I got a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old and my wife.
Right.
So you mean tell me I can't see them for damn near 2 months?
Yeah, I don't do that. I take my every year.
And I'm the same way. Wherever I go, they go.
Yeah.
But also as, a father, also as, somebody who's understanding, I know I'm not going to put my children, my wife in danger of catching this virus. Right. But at the same time, it's like, we got to live. My wife still got to go out and, get groceries and do whatever she do. Who knows what she comes in contact there. I mean, because you don't know. I mean, it's not like we can see the virus and be like,
right.
Like you just don't know.
Right.
But, second round, okay, we have what? How many teams then? Like 8?
8 on each and then 9 on the East.
Yeah, but at second round, there's only 8 teams
right.
there.
Second round be 8 teams.
Yeah, it's only 8 teams.
Right.
So that's less people. Right. So, I mean, that's understanding. But, I mean, not going that long without seeing the family is just like, oh, man, like, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But, to get this season done, because I know they want to have it, and for the future of our league, for the young players, I think it's important that we do get it done.
Yeah.
Because of the whole business side. And
I think one, just having that platform for you players to express what's going on, your feelings on what's going on with the pandemic, what's going on with just the social injustice, the systemic racism, all that stuff is great. And it's a break from, and not from the task at hand, but it's a break from the amount of overload of information that we're getting on TV at this time.
Yeah.
And as
Overload.
we know, sports has always been a healer, you know, in so many ways, for so many people, so many countries, so many just walks of life that, you know, at this time, any type of healing would be good.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron said it. It's easy. We can do both because we have the media coverage. We have the resources. We have people who are going to be listening because they want to see us play. So that means they're going to be glued to the TV. They're going to hear everything we say when we give in interviews.
And I understand people that say they don't want to play as well. I can get that.
Yeah, I see both sides. Like I see both sides. I understand completely both sides. But at the end of the day, what I read from Ed Davis, 100% agree with him too. If we don't play, that's taking money out of our brothers' pockets.
Yeah.
And now, like Kyrie Irving, multiple max deals. Dwight Howard, multiple max deals. They're great.
Yeah.
But like I was saying earlier, like the young kid that's on Houston, I don't want to take out of his pockets.
Well, not only that, I don't think the NBA is such a big bubble and it's such in its own world that you guys don't understand how that affects us overseas, how that trickles down to us in our markets. Greg Monroe coming overseas last year shook up the whole world in the European market, you know, and him signing to Munich in June, everybody's paying attention to that because it's a copycat. Just because it's a copycat league in America, it's the same thing overseas. So it's a lot bigger, and I think I understood what Kyrie was saying, but I think it's so many different, it's so deep rooted. And so
it's
people that
it affects a lot of people.
It affects a lot. So I hope y'all get off to a great start. I hope everything goes well. You know, I hope. I'm ready to see y'all. You know, and I've been rooting, and I'm saying after I see James working, and you know, you got more insight than me. Just how he's transforming his body and all that stuff. When you see a big time player transform their body, you gotta keep your eyes open, antennas up for that.
Yeah, and people, I mean, everybody want to see what happens. Everybody's at an even playing field.
Yeah, it's no excuses.
Yeah, none. So it's like, all right,
strict by this champion.
You can't. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like it's gonna be harder because there's no momentum.
Yeah,
there's no momentum.
And it's no home court.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing right there. There ain't no home court.
Orlando, you're gonna cry. You're gonna see nothing. It's gonna be all right. You got to keep this momentum now.
Right.
I mean, we'll see. It'll be fun though. Like, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'd be cool. It'd be different. It'd be difficult, but I think it'd be cool just to get back on the floor and just play.
And to see you guys in the tournament type format is kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie.
That's cool.
Yeah.
NBA switching it up is kind of dope. So I'm looking forward to it, man.
It'll be fun.
Last thing, favorite Jordan. You know, Georgetown's Jordan Brand. You're Jordan Brand. Favorite J.
My favorite Jordan. That's tough. I'm not gonna be cliche and say the patent of the 11s.
Don't, please don't.
I'm not. Yeah. It's like everybody, the patent of the 11s. I love those. Like that's everybody's shoes. Like that's the all-time classic. Like people should be refrained from saying that shoe is their favorite.
Yeah, you gotta cool out.
But mine is, I love the 3s and the 1s.
Okay.
If I had to pick just one, it would be the white cement 3s.
Ooh, I like those.
Because I feel like they go with anything.
Would you hoop in those?
Huh?
Would you hoop in those?
I will not. only Jordans that I'm comfortable with playing in is probably the 10s. Yeah, probably just the 10s. And what's the
just put some in playing the 1s one time, bro.
The 1s.
It's playing the 1s.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that, Jeff. Don't do that.
Yeah, you seen The Last Dance? You heard when Mike said his feet was bleeding?
Yeah,
that's how my feet would be. Feet be busted up. Like, I don't know the number. When it gets to like 13, 14, after that, I don't remember the shoe retro number. But what's the one with like the astronaut shoes with they're white with the silver covering?
The 17s?
18s maybe or 19s?
Maybe, I'm not sure. But those are really, really comfortable to play. And it's like with the shoestrings, like you gotta pull it and like
oh, there might be like 30, 20 something.
Yeah, you might be talking about the ones that came out like 2 years ago, maybe, I think.
Right. When I was with the Wizards, I got them and I played them. They retroed them.
Okay.
White with a silver like mesh, like it's like an aluminum foil material like cover. Like it was. Those are comfortable. Okay. I'll figure out the name of them and I'll text y'all the name of them.
All right.
But yeah, man.
All right,
like
Jeff.
with Georgia, you can't just pick one.
No, you can't. I mean, if I had to pick one, I'm picking favorites to play in. It'll be the 2s. It's my favorite days to play in.
My favorite are the 10s for sure.
10s.
Yeah.
Favorite 10s for sure.
10s probably favorite ones to play in. 1s though to walk around.
Ones is definitely my favorite. Lows, highs.
Say high top, low top. I don't care.
Yeah. They're just all around amazing. Yeah. So. Yeah, brother.
We appreciate you, Big Jeff Green. We looking forward to you.
We appreciate you, Jeff, doing this.
Of course, man. I'm proud of y'all, man. All y'all accomplished throughout your careers doing this. Like, I'm proud of y'all, man. Seeing y'all growing up.
Appreciate it.
Y'all grown young men. Doing y'all thing.
I got kids, Jeff. I got 3 kids.
I see you, bro. Like, I follow with y'all.
I'm done.
All right. All right. I still keep in touch with y'all, fan. I talked to your brother actually the other day.
Okay.
He's supposed to do Peloton bike, but I had to come to Houston.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I got mine here whenever, man. But y'all big dudes, y'all, this is better for y'all. Y'all be killing me on the percentages and stuff. I don't like that.
I just try to get through it, man.
Right.
I'm proud of y'all, man. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all doing well.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Jeff. Appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Good luck to you, and we'll stay in touch.
All right, brother. Y'all take it easy, man.